Good morning, YouTubers and weavers. In a number of my videos, you've probably heard me mention, if I'm talking about how I'm setting up, what shafts I'm using in threading the heddles, that I normally prefer to use an extra shaft and split, if I need 200 threads going through shaft 1 and I don't have enough heddles on shaft 1, I'll use shaft 1 and 9 or something like that to simulate that, so I can spread it out over 2 shafts and have enough heddles, rather than move extra heddles to one of the other shafts. Well, this time I'm going to do a little bit of heddle moving. So what's going on here is I've got a pattern where I need a shaft with, I need 2 shafts with 150 heddles on each of those 2 shafts. A while back, a long time ago, I mistakenly cut one of my heddles when I was trying to clear up a mess. And so I have one shaft that's already got 150 on it, but I've got one shaft that has 149 heddles, and I need 150. I don't want to have to split that and put 149 on one and just one heddle on a different shaft, or, even put 100 on one and 50 on another. I'm going to take the time to move one heddle from my least used shaft, which is shaft 12, up to the shaft that I want these on, which is shaft 4. So what I'm going to do is zoom this in and show you how I, with this particular Louet loom, and I fully realize that every loom is different, so the way you would do this is going to be different. I'm going to move one heddle, kind of a pain for just one, but it really makes sense to me this time, from shaft 12 to shaft 4. So let's move the camera around and show you how I go about unhooking the edges of these frames or shafts, so I can move a heddle from one shaft to another. I'll probably end up getting myself in the way of you seeing this, but I don't know if you can see this here. The way the Louet is set up, we've got this bar here, and there's a similar bar down at the bottom here that holds the heddles. And on this loom I'm using really long heddles because that's how the loom is designed. But it's got a Texolve cord that is used for raising and lowering whole shafts. So what I've got to do is pull this cord off of this little pin. Let's see if I can zoom you in just a little bit more even and move it over there. So we've got this little pin. I know there's not as much light as would be great, but we'll get that off there. There we go. So we're going to take one heddle off of there. And then before I lose my place, I'm going to put the pin back in like that. Now I'm going to aim down. I might have to move this in a little bit. Let's aim it down. There's the other end. So I've got this one heddle sitting here. It's a little bit harder down here at the bottom, but we can make it work. Down here it's a real pain in the seat of the pants to do this. This is why I don't like to move heddles. There we go. That's loose. Remove that single heddle, and now I've got to put it back together again. Okay, now we're going to go up and do putting that heddle onto shaft number 4. Now, there's the heddle again that I'm going to be putting onto shaft 4. And as you can see, I've got shaft 1, 2, 3 pulled down a little bit so I can easily see where shaft 4 is. I'm going to start by putting it on the top. It's going to be really difficult to show you the bottom because it's behind a board down here. I may have to move the camera again. But as I said before, this is a first-class pain in the seat of the pants to do this, but we can loosen. Okay, there, we're loose. You can see I've got this thing loosened up. We'll take the Heddle and slip it over that shaft, the top half. I don't know if you'll see this real well, but on this piece of Texsolve, right from the factory, I think, or maybe I did this myself, I don't remember, it's been a while since I built this loom, about 5 years ago. There's a little mark where there's magic marker was taken to mark which spot on the Texsolve this little pin should go through, so that all the shafts will correctly move up and down at the right level and be even with each other. Okay, there's the Heddle hanging on shaft 4 from the top. Now I'm going to move the camera to a slightly different angle so maybe you can see me do it on the bottom. Alrighty, let's see if we can unattach and then reattach the Heddle here. So again, this is the harder part because I've got some bars here where my hand is, this wooden piece, and getting this piece of Texsolve off is difficult. In fact, I'm having a bear of a time doing it. I may not leave this video go for that long. You can see though why I don't like doing this. There, got it. So you can see that's off. Take the bottom of this one, make sure we have no twists in this guy. I don't need that kind of headache. So take it that way, yep, that's straight. Open this up, slide it over there, and now I've got to, let's see if this is correct. Can you see this little pin type thing right there where my finger is? It's on a screw arrangement so I can make minor adjustments to this. So let's take this down, find the right piece of string. Here it is. So there we go. One Heddle moved, and now shaft 4 has got 150 instead of 149. So that's done. Anyways, there we go. One Heddle moved. I think I've said this before, that I love weaving on the Louet Spring Loom. It's a fantastic loom to weave at. If it's got a drawback though, it is that sometimes the setup can be a bit more difficult than it might be on other looms. When I took that class out at Vavstuga a couple years ago, I found that access to the shafts, they use the same kind of Texsolve Heddles, although they're a little bit shorter, but the same basic concept. Access to moving Heddles around on the Glamocra looms was a lot easier. I just don't like weaving on the darn things. And since the whole purpose of this is weaving, I'd rather have a loom on which I enjoy weaving than one that's easier to set up, but I don't enjoy working at it. So every loom is a trade-off, okay? You're going to get some benefits to a table loom over a floor loom. You're going to get some benefits of a floor over a table loom. The Glamocras are a total different style than the Louets, and each of them has their advantages. For those people who like weaving on a Glamocra, fantastic. Go for it. Use them. I happen to be very comfortable weaving on the Louet, even though this particular job of moving a Heddle, which is why I so seldom do it, this is a real pain in the patoot. So, anyways, that's my editorial comment for today. Thanks for watching my video, especially if you're a weaver who is a subscriber. For everyone else who's not a subscriber, or may not be a weaver even, thanks a million. If you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Just because. I mean, I don't make a penny out of this, so that's certainly not part of it. But I just appreciate the subscribers and like being able to show people different little tidbits about the weaving process or the loom setup or whatever. Anyways, thanks a million. We'll catch you the next time around on YouTube. Bye-bye.